Now we talked about the financial support that we can give there in just a few brief areas, but what about the other side of what the fund does? The second thing, which is the information services, because you might not need financial support, you might not need a grant. Hopefully the wages come in, we pay our bills, we set a little aside for a rainy day or maybe for our holidays, something like that, and we have enough to cover us if there's a little bit of an emergency. But we might still be just looking for some information. What benefits am I entitled to as a single parent? Where might I get some information about nursing care for an elderly relative? Where can I find convalescent care? Where can I find any number of pieces of information that I need in order to have success in my life? Where can I find the support and the information that I need? Well, happily, you can turn to the Civil Service Benevolent Fund because we are also a source of information. Now, ladies and gents, I often say to people, if you had a friend who had all of that information at his fingertips and had £4.65 million in the bank, would you keep his number on your mobile? Would you invite him out for lunch every now and again or take him out for a pint? Of course, you might expect him to pay for the pint or pay for the lunch with that amount of money, but that's a friend you'd want to keep in contact with. Well, we are that friend, we are that support, we do have those resources and we are simply waiting for you to give us a call. Financial support, information services, that is what the fund is here to do for you. But here's the third question, how do you become eligible to receive our assistance? How do you become eligible to make an application to the fund? Would anybody like to have a guess at that? Being a civil servant, absolutely. That's the second packet of mints. My word. Yes, all you have to do is be a civil servant. We are not a membership organisation, so you do not have to be a member. We don't have that type of setup. We're not like Bupa or Benetton or your insurance policy where you have to pay a premium to get out. All you have to be is a civil servant. So if you've been a civil servant for 1 year or 20 years or 30 years, you have access to receive our assistance for you and your dependents. But what if you decide to leave the civil service? What if you've been in the civil service 15 years and you say, that's the best 15 years of my life I've given them. I want to do something different. I don't want to be behind a desk anymore. I want to be out there. What if you hand in your notice and leave the civil service? You're still eligible. Excellent. Packet of mints at the front. Well, what if you retire from the civil service? You hand your friends give you a good, nice card and a nice gift on your last day and shove you out the door to do your gardening. Do you still have access then?
Yeah.
Yes, you do. Well, everybody shouted yes. I don't know where the mints go in that case. Yes, you still have access because, in fact, we are here for you for the rest of your life. That's you and your dependents. But here's the big question. Where did we get the money to give you that support? Where did we get the £4.65 million from last year that we paid out in support of civil servants? Does anybody know? Contributions, exactly. Voluntary contributions. Because remember I said we're not a membership organisation? It is the voluntary contributions of people just like you, who see the value of the work that we do, who want to support an organisation like this. The word benevolence actually means do good. People like yourselves who want to do good for their colleagues and who want to ensure that this organisation is here to support you should you ever need it in the future. So with that in mind, can I ask you just to open the little leaflets and take out what is inside, which is the donations form. Does everybody have one? Yeah. Okay, now specifically for just a moment, I'm going to address the existing contributors because I know there are a few existing contributors in the audience today. So specifically, I'm just going to talk to you for a moment. I need to ask all existing contributors to complete a new donor form for me today. There are two reasons that I ask you to do that. The first is that we want to make sure we've got absolutely up-to-date information for contacting each and every one of our existing contributors. We want to make sure that all of our contributors know what's happening, know what we're doing with their contributions. So if you can do that for me. The second reason is, you see this little pink box for gift aid? We need to make 100% sure that every single contributor who is a taxpayer is on the gift aid scheme. Does everyone know what gift aid is? Yeah? For every £1 you contribute to a charity, the government will give back to that charity 28p as long as you're a taxpayer. So please update your forms today and we'll get that, make sure that that's on the system. For everybody else, I'm going to run through the form very briefly, although as you look at it you'll see it's pretty self-explanatory. Top line it says, I wish to donate an amount of blank. Why is it blank? Voluntary contribution. If I was standing here with a collecting tin, you might walk by and say, oh, that's a good cause, and you might lift £2 or £3 out of your pocket. Or you might say, that's a great cause, and you take a tenner out of your wallet and put it in. It's your decision. What you feel comfortable with is the amount that you put in that top box. For those who are existing contributors, who are completing a new form for me today, I ask that if you want to keep your contribution at the existing level, put it in the top box. However, many contributors that I meet as I go from office to office say that they'd like to increase their contribution. If you would like to add an extra 50p, an extra £1 a month, whatever you'd like to add it to, put that in the bottom box. Put the increase in the bottom box. Then we come to the section on gift aid. Are you a UK taxpayer? If you are, circle the yes. If you'd like us to get that extra 28%, circle the yes at the bottom. That really makes a significant difference. Last year that made an additional £1.2 million for what the fund was able to then give back out in charitable work. Personal details is simple and straightforward, and workplace details, simply put your department. All I need then at the bottom is your signature and today's date, and that's it done. To fill in that form, to complete that and update your details takes about a minute, or maybe a minute and a half. But that minute and a half makes such a difference in the lives of those people. Remember we talked about 13,000 people over the last 2 years, 700 of them right here in Wales. What a difference those contributions made to them. So if you could do that for me today, it would be very much appreciated. I'll be at the back of the room for a little while and I'll collect up those forms. While you're doing that, I want also to just make sure that each and every one of you has one of our little pens. These always go down a storm in civil service offices, and it's black ink, so you could even use them here. On the side, you've got our free phone number, and you've also got our website address. Take a look at the website in your own time. Click on the link for your own region. See what we're doing right on your doorstep. And that will really give you the confidence in what the fund is doing for you and your colleagues. But this is the most important thing that we can give you. It's about the size of a credit card. It slips right inside your wallet. Please put it inside your wallet. Please keep it inside your wallet, because if something crops up in your life in 6 months or 6 years, you're not going to be thinking about me. You're not going to think, oh yes, there's a girl came and talked to us a while back. What was it she said? But if you've got the card in your wallet, then you will remember that the fund is here to support you. So that's it, ladies and gents. All that I have to say is thank you very much for your attention. I'm going to let you get back to work now, but I appreciate your time. If anybody does have any questions, as I say, I'll be here for a little while at the back of the office. Please feel free to come and have a chat. Thank you very much.